Yo, and welcome to the iSpooge daily channel. This is an experimental tech and media brand, and the streak is broken. The daily 20-minute videos, I just didn't do one, and it's because I'm kind of tired of hearing myself talk. So the 3 H's: homelessness, Harlan, and Hitler. I mean, head, hands, and heart. Ha ha ha, you can tell I made up that joke beforehand. So I'm really annoyed by YouTube because it doesn't put any emphasis on action. It's all head and heart. It's all thinking and feeling. I'm out here doing, and I take a second of my time to record a video and keep doing. But because there are so many people who aren't doing, they can devote all their time to being a creator, a YouTuber, answering comments. Oh, a viewer said this. Oh. Yo, I'm out here doing stuff. There's a reason my presence can be magnetic, and why it's probably been slumping. Like, the less I do, the less magnetic I'm gonna be. I'm not gonna make some compelling case with my words, or just have such an outpouring of feeling that people can't help but be moved. No, I'm gonna do stuff and people are gonna resonate with that, because that's what most people are doing, is stuff. They're not on welfare in their room talking, feeling. No, they're out doing stuff. And thank you so much for the donations. Like, the thing is, if I go to my Venmo, which I haven't checked in weeks, and find $3,000 there, just say I find $3,000, what can I do? Really anything different? Not really. I can find something to blow it on. I can circulate it for sure. But I was thinking on the walk out here, so okay. When I have basically nothing, I'll be generous with my last few dollars. But when I've got like a few $100s, I become extremely tight with my money. Like, I don't want to spend any extra money that I don't have to. And it's because when I have a few $100s, I have a chance of doing something. Like, I can go to another city. You know, if something comes up, I can jump on it. I can seize an opportunity. When I have $5, I can seize an opportunity to give someone an extra dollar that'll make their tips, their week, a little bit better. That's all I can do with $5 in my hand. With a few $100s in my hand, I can maybe do a little project. I can buy a voice recorder. I've been without a voice recorder for a while because the batteries have been dead, like with my phone. I did spend $8 to get 2 AAAs. Man, I didn't need to spend that much, but I did because I was on my way here. The one store I went to where I got like 8 for $8 or something, 10 or 12 maybe, they didn't have any, so I went to the next store and they had a 2-pack. I didn't know how much it cost, but it was like $6 or $7 for 2 batteries, but it gave me a voice recorder. So if I got a few $100s, I might spend $5 without, just because I've been without it for a while. And I noticed that that's probably part of why I don't have anything to talk about, is I'm just so internal in my monologue now without the voice recorder. So now I get a few $1,000s in my bank account. What can I really do? Maybe get a van with a down payment, but then I still can't really afford maintenance on it. So I'd probably want to save at least some of it as a maintenance fund at least. So I've got a few $1,000s. I mean, that's basically a maintenance fund for my car. If something goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if I were to go to Venmo and a few $1,000s were there, it doesn't really change anything, you know? I'm still out here. Maybe technically I could afford that battery and phone service without sweating too much, but that just becomes a monthly commitment, a monthly expense that then, and importantly, a time tether. Now I'm tethered to this phone. For what? To spend money to be tethered to the phone? So maybe there's job opportunities in the email that I'm not checking. You know, it's like there could be this perfect set of dominoes where I check my email, I check my Venmo, there's a few $1,000. I check my email, there's job opportunities, so I can get a hotel room. I'm now paying for the opportunity to respond to a job opportunity. See what I'm saying? Like, it's just not great, no matter how many diamonds are buried in my email. It's like I'm still out here without a place to work, without any privacy, without any space. Today's my day off. I don't even know if I have tomorrow off because I don't have a phone, so I can't get in the group chat and get the schedule when it comes out. So I actually have to just go in and look at the schedule. Like, I'm homeless because I don't check my email. It's kind of a joke. So last summer I had 90 days in a homeless shelter. That gave me a place to sleep and use internet and shower and go to work. That was fine, but 90 days is not enough at minimum wage, you know? So I'm tired of hearing myself just talk. Yeah, like I'm out here taking action, but you guys don't see any of that. You're just like, oh, he talks every day. He's a talker. I don't know if that's what you guys are like, but if that's all you see is me getting on there for 20 minutes every day, because part of it too is I just don't want to show where I am. I'm in a small town. If I show anything of note, you know, even what the library looks like would be pretty easy to figure out where we are. So I think the daily 20-minute videos are done. It was kind of nice to have that routine, but it's just like the library parking lot is just filling up with homeless people. There's like all these new badly behaved homeless people at the Starbucks in the morning. And is it just because of the season? You know, or is it actual gang stalking, actual street theater? Because the controllers of the world are not going to want me to get traction, and they're going to find ways to discredit me if I do. So I don't really want to get traction anyway. When I see people out here trying to be YouTubers, I know that they're on some kind of support. Like, they're not out there doing, you know, YouTubers that are not out there doing anything can get lots of support because they've got all the time in the world. They are not uncomfortable with their situation. You can tell when people are locked into their heads and their hearts and not using their hands at all. Like, I'd rather just be out here using my hands, not using my head too much, using my heart as much as I'm allowed to, but I'm not going to sit up here feeling entitled to being an individual and having freedom. Yo, I'm out here looking at these lizards like, why do I deserve more than a lizard? Like, lizards have to fight for what they have. Humans have to fight for what they have, and if they don't have to do that, they're going to be extremely miserable because they know how fragile their situation is. Like, yeah, you lock yourself up in a cave and you don't have to fight for a little bit, but also when you take a dump, it's going to stink real bad unless you bring it outside. And then you bring it outside, and the lion knows when it starts hearing fart noises, you're about to come outside. So when it hears fart noises, it starts waiting for you. So you're safe from the lion inside, but as soon as you start pooping, it knows. It's about to have an opportunity for a meal, right? So I'm not saying I'll never come on here on this channel. It's an experimental tech and media brand. Like, if my heart moves me to put something up, then yeah, I will. The homeless stuff, the homeless guy videos were doing good for a while, so I kept doing it. But you don't have to be a real homeless guy to get an audience. You can just... yeah. Like, I think people like this channel because they can see the head, heart, and hands are in resonance. I'm not just overly head and heart like a lot of, you know. But if I'm all hands, then you guys don't see anything. That's me for most of the 6 years I've had the channel, is just out doing stuff. Like, I don't want anything to do with being a YouTuber. I want to sell tools to YouTubers. Well, then check your email. Maybe YouTubers are emailing you. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Once I have space to check. Yeah, checking email is partly reading it and partly following up, doing something, and responding. So if email were all head and heart, yeah, I could check my email without privacy. The more people there are in a space doing something, the less room for empathy there is too. So being that my channel started getting popular, there's going to be copycats. And that's totally, you know, it's fine with me, but how do we communicate this? Like, it's not that I want to give people less to copy. I actually want to be a good example for copycats. But what people do is they take the truth and they sandwich it between some lies. Or they sandwich a lie inside of it, and that's what they run with. Because they're not in balance of head, hands, and heart. They're not, you know, they're using their head, maybe their head and their hands, but not their heart if they're straight up copying content just to get views or whatever, just to be a YouTuber, man, just to get some income. So this channel, even though it's on the path to being monetized through ads, it's not going to be. I might monetize it with channel memberships so that if people want to pay directly, they can. But I'm not going to monetize it with ad revenue, even though it's getting close to where we can do that. Just because I'm homeless, I'm still following my heart. So my heart has always been anti-advertising. And not anti-other people advertising, just anti-me advertising. It's like the same thing as being a kitchentarian. Like, my kitchen does not have any meat or dairy, any flesh or animal excretions. Other people's kitchens may, and if I'm working in their kitchen, then I may eat what's in their kitchen. But my kitchen doesn't have that. It's the same thing with channels. I might watch a channel that has advertisements and know that the creator is getting paid advertising revenue, but my channel does not and will not. So, you know, it totally deflates any kind of argument like, oh, I'm just pretending to be homeless to become a YouTuber or something. No. YouTube was working for me, and so I kept making homeless guy videos. So yeah, it's my day off. I don't know if tomorrow is the day off. Probably, but I've got to go in and check anyway. I was thinking like it stinks that like, okay, maybe I have a few $100s. I could maybe technically drive up to some big hiking trail and like hike in, spend the night, yada yada, do that kind of thing, and then come back. But I'm like, I really don't have the money, gas, whatever, to get out there. I'm hoping that there's like $3,000 sitting in my Venmo. I mean, to open that up, I'm sure I would find something to do with it, but I'm just like trying to find space. Like everything's getting so crowded that now I'm out here. I'm still like, I hiked out here with the laptop and battery and everything, and I'm like out here recording. I haven't been out here without a laptop in a long time, but before the first time I came with the laptop, I was out here like 10-15 times, just no camera, nothing, just hiking, just being by myself. And now I've kind of turned this into a workplace in my mind. Sort of like in college, I stopped being able to sleep until I stopped studying my dorm room. Like I would study in my dorm room. I was overloaded on credits, like extra credits. And so I was studying like all the time, and then I couldn't go to sleep. But then when I started going to the study lounges within the dorm building, there's 24-hour lounges you could just go to study, then I could go back to my room and fall right to sleep. So it's sort of like this space is supposed to be a recreation space, but it's actually a workspace now. And I'm getting tired of that. Like that's how coffee shops should be too, is recreation spaces. So I try to keep my work like at certain ones, and then my recreation, like meeting up with friends or whatever, at other ones. It's not a huge issue lately, but I've been like this using libraries and coffee shops my entire life. Like, my first paid gig as a programmer was, I think, over 20 years ago. Around 20 or over 20 years ago. And so this idea of like finding spaces to work in, coding in high school, dropping out of high school, going to community college, going to university, being a freelancer, working in startups, working in big companies. Like I've worked in a ton of different types of places. So I can find a way to work anywhere. It's just I don't want all spaces to be workspaces mixed with personal spaces, like with leisure spaces. I mean, not personal, because there's personal work, personal leisure too. So yeah, going on 20 minutes, it feels like the tone and pace of this video is already kind of different. Will I even upload it today? Probably. It's just like I don't have any confidence I can go to the library now, and it's closed today, the library parking lot, and it will just be full of people just like living in their cars, walking around, yada yada. Like people have been like, yeah, this city's homeless problem has changed big time, yada yada. Maybe this is how it was before, and then it stopped for the winter or something, and it's coming back. I don't know. But yeah, so we've been on a couple topics on this video going into the last minute. And the big thing though is just, you got to be discerning of people who are not doing anything, or are doing something and are using, lack of heart, or like going against the heart, using their head and hands to copy. I'm not, we'll just leave it there. But thanks for joining. If you've supported at all, thanks so much. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy this enough. Life is good overall. So thanks a lot, and we'll get through this. We'll find some solutions. Everything will be good. Take care. Bye.